Hello everyone, it's me, Clayton, and I just got back from seeing Mary and the Witch's Flower. It's the first film created by Studio Ghibli, which is the studio made of old Studio Ghibli animators. And when I first heard about that, I figured we'd get a magical adventure fitting of Ghibli. And even though it doesn't exactly reach the heights of Ghibli's best films, it's still a highly enjoyable magical adventure that you definitely should check out. But let's get to the story, shall we? The story is about Mary Smith, a young red-haired British girl who ends up moving into a new home near a large forest. Once she follows a cat into the forest, she finds an old broomstick and a flower called and a mysterious flower. Once she discovers these things, the broomstick and the flower transports her to a college up in the clouds known as Endor College. Leave your Star Wars jokes here. Anyways, it's a college for witches and warlocks, and that's all I'll say about the story without spoiling anything, so let's get to what I liked about the film. What I liked about the film mainly is the animation on display here. The animation is pretty much what you'd expect from the old Studio Ghibli animators. It's full of a lot of energy, it's fluid, it's colorful, and the designs have a real sense of life to them. Like, they feel like they're really lively and really just fun to watch. Just like a lot of Ghibli films, it has a lot of these stylistic influences from Hayao Miyazaki, indeed. And it's not just the animation that feels a lot like a Miyazaki film, it's also the characters, especially Mary herself, who feels a lot like a lot of Miyazaki's heroines in his movies. She's spunky, she's got a lot of energy, but she's also got a few insecurities to deal with. And she goes through a wide range of emotions that you can find yourself engrossed in throughout. Not only that, but the side characters are really fun too. I especially liked the brewmaster Flanagan that she meets when she gets to the college. I found him incredibly entertaining, despite his limited screen time. And I also liked her Aunt Charlotte, as, not to spoil anything, but the revelations that her character has make for some of the film's most emotionally engrossing moments to me. But on top of the animation and the great characters, the story itself, while fairly predictable at points and derivative of some Studio Ghibli films, is still highly entertaining. There's a lot of interesting magic to be found here. There's a lot of interesting locales that our characters end up in. And overall, there's a lot of places that you wouldn't normally expect films like this to go to. It doesn't exactly go to the same dark heights of films like Spirited Away or Princess Mononoke, for instance, but in my opinion, it still does a good job. Creating a family-friendly film with lots of creative visuals that range from the beautiful to the terrifying to the cute to the revolting. It manages to capture a bunch of different feelings and a bunch of different tones almost effortlessly. My only problem with the film is it does feel derivative of some Studio Ghibli films. Like, we've seen Studio Ghibli handle witches and magic before. We've seen Studio Ghibli handle other countries aside from Japan. I think they've even handled Britain once or twice beforehand. And we've seen Studio Ghibli films handle even some of the plot twists that occur throughout the film. But that's a minor thing considering the quality on display here, and it didn't really detract from my experience at all. So overall, Mary and the Witch's Flower is a very solid first film for the studio. I hope they deliver more films like this, and honestly, I hope more anime films are shown in the US because the possibilities are kind of infinite there. So I give Mary and the Witch's Flower a 9 out of 10. See you next time.